for me, it was either between New York or London, because I knew I really wanted to do fashion and I wanted to do business as well. So I wanted to be somewhere that was a center of commerce so I can explore the professional opportunities while studying. And I don't know, I visited London and I just enjoy the cultural heritage of the city and like the history that London has. So I think that's what made me decide to go to London. And also London College of Fashion and like University of the Arts London itself is very old, so I thought it was quite a prestigious place to go. I never think about where I come from as a limitation. I just see it as a fact. Where I go, it's a matter of what me as a person can achieve.
Okay.
So it's all about, for me, like it's all about hard work and your work ethic and your passion. So I don't think it matters where you come from. So for me, I never thought I'm from South Cotabato going to London. I just think I'm somebody who loves what I do, who cares about fashion, doing what I love, going to London. Yeah. My routine? I guess it depends well, now that I'm done with university, but back then I was working while I was going to school. I'm really lucky because our lectures are only 2-3 hours in a day, so you really have a lot of freedom. So I would go to school usually in the morning at like 9 to 12, and then I'd go to work in the afternoon. So I was interning for a small Korean fashion brand. So yeah, I would intern in the afternoon, and then at night maybe do some schoolwork. So it's very routine, and then maybe I like to do dancing as exercise, so I go dancing at night. And yeah, it's very simple. It's very chill. Actually, I was on vacation somewhere very remote, as in remote. Like you only get one bar and you only have internet 5 minutes a day. So when I read the email, at first I thought it was a joke, like they sent it to the wrong person. But yeah, I panicked. I was at the airport, I remember, and I was screaming, and I just looked like the crazy foreign person who was freaking out in the middle of the airport. Yeah, and my family was there, and obviously they were very happy for me. Yeah, I guess it's almost like a call to action for retailers today. I mean, even in our country, there's still a lot of focus on offline retail, which makes sense for the current market. But obviously, we all know like we're all moving towards the world of digitalization. But even if you see Amazon as like the forefront of the online retail era in a fashion context, I feel like fashion retail is still different from traditional retail, and I think retailers who sell in like multiple categories need to understand that how you sell fashion is completely different from how you would sell, for example, like books. And even in the online retail space, sometimes like pure players like Amazon, they invest everything onto their website, but there's still a value in that offline touch point for consumers. So even if you see like pure play online retailers in fashion, like ASOS, for example, or even Zalora, you see that they're actually moving into the offline space as well. They have pop-ups, they have like exhibitions, all these little things. And I think that just emphasizes the importance of like a physical connection to be made with the consumer. But even more so, as an online retailer, you're kind of like at the forefront of technology as well. And I feel like retailers need to challenge how they present their products and what the customer experience is like online, because it's still becoming homogenous. And I think obviously like technology like augmented reality or like virtual reality and things like that, it sounds exciting, but nobody has done this in a sustainable way that is also profitable. It's almost parang gimmick lang. Yeah, so I feel like retailers need to think seriously about how they can make this tech profitable for them. as it is right now, I don't really think anyone has turned this into something that's like sustainable long term and like profitable. It's more of like a temporary marketing hype to get like clout or to have people talking about you. But to turn that clout into like bottom line pesos or dollars, I don't see anyone doing it yet. But I feel like there's all these technological advances, like all these gimmicks, but at the same time, like at the core of retail is like, how do you make your customers happy so they keep coming back and they keep shopping from you? And the online experience, it's about like distribution. It's all these things that as a fashion brand, maybe it's not like at the forefront. At fashion, we think it's all about the image, like what the campaign looks like, who the models are, where you're shooting your campaign. But also like as a business, it's also about the back end, like how good are you at managing customer relationships, like how good are you at maintaining the lifetime value of your customers, what's the customer experience like on your website, like how are you optimizing this to make it better for them. So yeah, I think as retailers we should look at those things first before thinking about like how do I get hype, you know. I'm surprised like not everyone is doing it. I think especially in luxury retail, you really see the gap between high street, like mass market, and luxury retail, and how, because obviously if you're a luxury retailer, you want to create this image of exclusivity that it's hard to get, but at the same time, you're still a business, like you still want to make money, diba? So I think see now buy now is like, why isn't everyone doing it, like in luxury specifically? And I feel like there's still a gap in like how technology is used for luxury retailers. Like now, to become relevant as a retailer, you have to evolve. So you could see like Gucci, for example, appealing to millennials. Like they have a really strong social strategy, and you could see that in the bottom line. Like the money, like the purchasing power, is in the pockets of millennials. And in order to appeal to millennials, like you need technology. And you could see like LVMH, they've recently launched their online website called 24/7 to go against like Net-a-Porter, Matches Fashion, and even like, and also like the trend of streetwear. That's also another thing that luxury retailers are doing to appeal to millennials. So for example, like Balenciaga, doing like classic women's wear that you associate with like 50s glamour. Now you see like the Balenciaga sock shoes, like all these things that make people talk about the brand again. And I think another emergence in like luxury fashion, because of the streetwear influence, parang you start to see luxury more for everyone. Parang they're getting that image now, you can wear luxury anywhere. So you see like Gucci sliders, diba? And things like that. Yeah. Even like Louis Vuitton, you see them as a traditional, like, oh my god, they've been around for like almost 150 years or something. They're traditionally French. They're known for their luggage trunks. But now they're doing these collaborations like Louis Vuitton Supreme, diba? And I think Louis Vuitton, they own Off-White as well. LVMH owns Off-White, and now they're putting LVMH is putting all their money on these like emerging streetwear brands. I guess because I did my thesis on Amazon. Yeah. As a general retailer, obviously like Amazon is so good at what they do. But from an exclusive like fashion brand, I'd say ASOS is doing a really good job. They really know their market so well. If you look at their website, I think what differs it is how, like, for example, like how they present their products. I think ASOS actually pioneered for instead of like traditional product photography, they show like product videos of models wearing their clothes. They invest a lot of money into their content strategy. They've really become like a voice. So they're not just a retailer, but they're also in a sense like an influencer. They're driving the trends and driving what people buy and how people think. And I think as a retailer, that's really powerful. They also empower like emerging designers. They do competition to find who emerging designers are and gives them a platform to sell their clothes. So yeah, I think ASOS is doing a really good job, yeah. Oh think we're doing it now. I don't think we should see ourselves like unparalleled to what's happening to the rest of the world, because I think we're here right now. We are here now. I mean, I work for Zalora. I interned for Zalora. Actually, when I was 16, I was in high school and I was interning for Zalora, and that was like 2 years after they started in the Philippines. And to see how Zalora has transformed from then, and I worked for them as well last year. Now they moved here to BGC, and then seeing all their pop-ups. And you can really see not just the retailers themselves, but also the consumers here in the Philippines, how our mindsets have changed. Because obviously to influence consumer behavior is probably the hardest part. Like, is one of the biggest challenges of online retail, is how you can convince people who are so used to shopping at malls, shopping at the market, to get them to shop online. I think that's the hardest thing. And seeing how this has grown, like reading the industry reports, and even just like asking people where you get your clothes from. And it's not just limited to here in Metro Manila. Even when you go to Mindanao, you ask people, oh, where'd you get that? They'll be like, oh, I bought it online. So it's really fulfilling to see that change. Yeah, I had the privilege of actually visiting one of Amazon's fulfillment centers in the UK, and how they run it. It's crazy. It's basically run by robots, and they're so efficient and so good at what they do. And I think that's something we can learn from here in the Philippines. I think one of our biggest challenges here is obviously logistics and operations. They're lucky in the UK, the US, or even China. They're just technically like one big island if you think about it. But here we have 7,000 islands. So how do you get these products to 7,000 islands? Well, obviously not all 7,000, but in an efficient way. And I think it would be interesting to see how that pans out, and the kind of startups or even the current logistic companies that we have existing here in the Philippines deal with that issue. It will obviously require like a lot of tech and a lot of innovation, which I'm super excited to see.
Yes.
Yeah. I really don't think I'm in the position to give advice, because I'm really just a university graduate. So everything I've said so far is just my experiences, things I've learned while I was in London, working with different companies, and obviously working on my thesis. But I guess the biggest advice, like I've read a lot of like industry reports and I guess like case studies on digital transformation, is to never, oh my God, is to never get, never become stagnant, never rest on your accomplishments. Because if you think, nah, I'm on top right now, I'm the best retailer, I'm number one on the high street, there will always be a fresh young company like clawing at your feet, and the next thing you know, you'll be knocked down. So I think to constantly push, like constantly innovate, and always keep your eyes open, look around you. It's not just people who are ahead of you, who are next to you, but also the people behind you that you should be looking out for. Yeah, that sounds like a thread. It's really not. It's a message of positivity lang.
Yeah.
No, it's just like, it's about constant improvement. And I take that as like a personal philosophy. For me, university was yesterday. Everything I've accomplished was yesterday. So what am I doing today and what am I doing tomorrow? That's what's important.